Thank you all for coming this evening. My name's Roger McIntosh, I'm President of Mitchelton Football Club, and with me I've got Paul Edwards, Sam Safe, Leo Siriani and Tim Lawson. I'm just going to read a prepared statement regarding the situation of a senior men's coach for Mitchelton Football Club for 2015. The Mitchelton Football Club is delighted to announce the appointment of Sam Safe as head coach of our 2015 Trophy Superstore Brisbane Premier League side. The club is thrilled to secure the services of Sam and his assistants, Paul Edwards and David McAvoy, following the confirmation that the club has been promoted to Brisbane's Premier Football competition in 2015. And I'm delighted to welcome Sam as our senior coach from the start of the 2015 season in January of next year. His appointment's a major coup for Mitchelton FC and all of our players, and we will benefit from his vast football experience and knowledge. We're a large community club with over 1,000 players. Our vision is to be a prominent and respected community football club, celebrated for its junior development initiatives, quality coaching programs, extensive facilities, an inclusive and social atmosphere. We want to be competitive on the pitch and field teams in the top tier of Brisbane competition, but yet preserve a family community environment where participation is encouraged. The appointment of Sam to lead our senior men's coaching program brings us closer to our vision and will help us offer clearly defined pathways for all involved in the sport and our club. As a UEFA A licensed coach and having worked in professional football full-time for 7 years with Sheffield United and more recently as head coach of the very successful Brisbane Wolves, Sam has the experience and understanding of what it takes to get the best out of senior and young footballers through developing each player's maximum potential in a team environment. Sam's passion for football has been part of his life since an early age. He's developed a solid foundation of skills, knowledge and expertise since moving into coaching following his early career as a semi-professional player. His commitment and passion continues to strive, especially here in Australia, where he aims to implement coaching at the highest level. So we're very fortunate indeed to have someone as highly credentialed and knowledgeable as Sam to lead our 2015 BPL campaign. These appointments are also welcomed by our current Capital One coach, Leo Siriani, who in fact instigated discussions with Sam and Paul and encouraged the Mitchelton FC committee to pursue their signatures. I'm very proud of what Leo states. I am very proud of what I and the current group of players have been able to achieve in the Capital One League over the last 2 seasons. The move into the Trophy Superstore Premier League is a considerable step, and significant coaching experience at the highest level will benefit the club with its desire to continue to be successful both on and off the field at all age groups. The appointment of Sam is a logical progression in the club's long-term plans. I'm very pleased that Sam will be joining our club and look forward to working with himself, Paul and David. I'd really like to thank personally Leo for his enthusiasm and success that he has brought to this club. His achievements at this club as a senior coach are remarkable. 24 wins from 24 starts in winning the premiership in 2013 is unheard of in this city. When you throw in last year's grand final win, this year's efforts to gain promotion and hopefully another premiership, the success he has achieved here at Mitchelton FC is nothing short of incredible. Leo has an extraordinary vision and passion for this club, and he will continue to be part of the coaching structure as a Director of Senior Football Operations and has the unequivocal support of the committee in this role. The appointment of Sam to lead our senior coaching ranks will allow Mitchelton FC to enhance its ability to provide a range of initiative programs which encourage participation and promote the ongoing development of football skills for players of all ages. Thank you.
Well, Roger, I'll open up the questions. Obviously, the rumours have been swirling over the past few weeks about this move. What's attracted the club to appoint such a high-profile coach in Sam Safe?
Yeah, well, I'll hand you over to Leo shortly. He can explain that a little bit more, but it was Leo who in fact instigated it, and it's personally, I think that's a massive thing for Leo to do, and it shows the mark of the man he is to be able to recognise what's in the best interest of the club and what's going to be the best thing to put this club in the best position for next season and beyond. So I'll just get Leo to add to that a little bit.
Rafe, For me, I've enjoyed the last 2 years here, and before I start anyway, I'd just like to thank my committee who have backed myself and the team for the last 4 years since I've been in charge. So thank you, Roger. The appointment of Sam, I've been growing up by a good family, and they've always taught me the morals of being successful, and the old saying, if you want to be the best, surround yourself by the best. I've got the utmost respect for both Sam and Paul. And I believe the next stage, I've completed the first stage of Mitchelton's rise into the BPL, and I think the appointment of Sam and both Paul will continue the second stage or second part of the chapter of Mitchy's future over the next 10 years.
Obviously, Roger's explained that you haven't been pushed aside, you've actually initiated this move. Can you explain some of the reasons as to why you've chosen to sort of step aside and into this new role of Director of Senior Football Operations?
I think if you would have asked me beginning of the year, I probably would have still been a head coach at this club. It's been a long 2 years, to get promoted. I did get a phone call that maybe Sam was available for next year. I had a look first about my commitments, work-wise, and what I wanted to do in 2015. And straight away, once Sam was available, I think it was in my best interest, like Roger said before, for our club to go forward, for Sam to come over and take that next step. As far as why for myself to step back, there's a lot of things I want to do before I become the first grade coach. I think I will learn a considerable amount of knowledge from both Sam and Paul. I don't need to coach a BPL side in the next 3 years. There's no rush for me to be that head person. And I believe that hopefully one day when Sam wants to step aside, then maybe I might take back over, and I'll be ready, and more the better. It
might be a bit early, but do you have any sort of expectations about what your role will be specifically in that next year?
Well, the main part of getting Sam here was when we first spoke was obviously the vision of our club for the next 3 years. And it's not just appointing Sam. We've mentioned there that we've signed Paul Edwards is coming across, and David, I think he's McAvoy, and they're part of the senior coaching staff. But it doesn't just stop there. Our 18s coach, which we haven't appointed yet, and our 16 coach will play a major part of the development of the senior football over the next 3 years. Our vision in 3 years' time is that for all 4 grades to be very competitive, as well as our junior side of things, where I know they've changed it now to a Super League for 12s to 15s, and then we're envisioning that in 3 years' time that we have 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s in that Super Youth League, and our 16s, 18s, reserve grade and our BPL side, our first team, all within that top 4 and playing good football.
Well, we might turn to Sam for a couple of questions now. Sam, what's attracted you to come to the role here in Mitchelton?
I think what really attracted me was when Leo first spoke to me, and he had the vision for the club, and for a first team coach to actually want someone else to come in, he shows you what a kind of man he is. And he spoke to me and he said, you need to come and speak to the board, are you interested? And I said, yeah, I'm always interested in clubs that want to go forward. And after I spoke to Roger and spent time talking to Leo, I don't think there's in any doubt that this club wants to be the top club in Brisbane. And they know it's going to take time, but they've actually got a vision. They've got a 5-year plan, 3-year plan, 1-year plan, and they know where they want to be, and they're taking steps to get there. And that really excited me, because I want to be part of something that's going forward into the future. Because my role really, what Leo's hit the nail on the head, I want to help build a club from 6 all the way to seniors, because if I'm only here 5 years, I'd like to walk away from this club thinking that I've left a legacy with the help of the committee and Leo and everybody else that's involved. Because it's not about me, it's about the 6-year-olds, that when they get to first grade, if they're good enough, they can play, and if they're not, we've got a community club from all to be part of it.
It's certainly a unique move. You're moving from one side that's at the top of the table to another side that's at the top of the table, obviously at a lower division. How do you see taking Mitchelton into the top flight next year, and what might you have to do to try and lift the standard to the Brisbane Premier League level?
Well, I think Mitchelton are quite competitive in the Brisbane Premier League. You don't win 24 games or lose one game in 2 seasons and not be competitive in the league above. I think the different kettle of fish would be getting into that top 4. And we spoke, Leo, Paul and other people and Roger, what players we need to get into that top 4. So our goal next year would be, can we get into the top 4? And if we can we win something? Just like we did at Wolves many years ago. And that's what we'll do. And we'll see if we can win something in the first year. But as first goal would be to get enough points not to get relegated. Second goal is to get in the top 4. The third goal is to win something. And that would be as goals. And yes, we will need a few extra players. But we'll see what happens next year.
Just on that, do you anticipate that you will have some Wolves players coming over to follow you?
Well, if you look at it realistically, wherever the coach goes in the world, a lot of players followed Tim Brown, a lot of players followed Terry Kirkham, a lot of players followed Eddie Tesoro, a lot of players follow coaches. Now, I'm not going to sit here and deny that players won't come, but if they're not as good as what players Mitchelton's got, well, they won't get in the team. And if they're better, then they will get in the team. The best players, don't matter where they come from, whether they're 18, 28, they'll be playing. I don't want to disrespect Mitchelton or Wolves. The season's not finished yet. And discussing what players are coming and who's not coming, and we'll wait for another day.
All right, well, we might turn to one of the current Mitchelton players in Tim Lawson. Tim, a player's perspective on this announcement.
Look, we got a pretty tight knit group of players down here at Mitchelton. I've been talking with a few of the boys who have played here over the last few years, and we've sort of become somewhat of a family as opposed to a team. That's pretty obvious in some of the results that we've had and some of the games where we've sort of scraped out of the barrel. It's a credit to Leo, it's a credit to Roger for building what we do have here at Mitchelton, and it's only going to get better, to be honest. Where obviously the decision that's been made is in the best interests of the club moving forward, and I think as a player myself, I'm excited. There's nothing else to say. It's very exciting, and it's an exciting time to be part of a club who's been newly promoted, and everyone's going to be out for us, but I think we'll definitely be ready and excited. Yeah, bring it on.
And one last question for you, Roger. You talked about the plan before. You've obviously got a massive junior base here as well. How does this appointment fit into your 1 year, your 3 year, your 5 year plans?
Yeah, well, this is a very important part of it. One of our objectives in that plan is to become one of the dominant clubs on and off the field in Brisbane in the next 5 years. And so getting promoted into the BPL was just the start of that. We need to take stock and enable our team to not just make up the numbers. We're not there to make up the numbers next year. We're there to start the process, as Sam said, of first of all not being relegated, getting the top 4, to try and win something. But in 3 to 5 years, our plan will be to be the dominant, one of the dominant clubs in Brisbane.
Well, gents, we've still got a few years. Sorry, Sam, you want one last word?
Yeah, I just want to add on what Roger said, and the reason that we've actually brought this forward is that all the rumours and innuendos that were being floated around by people that poor old Leo was digging his own trench, and we were coming behind his back So one of the main things is to stop all the rumours. The second thing I want to add is that by no way, just having this thing, everything's still the same for Leo and his players. We won't be starting while January. Everything is the same at Wolves. We will be trying to win every game and win every cup. The reason for this is just to stop the rumours and put everybody, they've got the truth, that we're all in it together, and we're all in it for the rise and success of Mitchelton Football Club from next year. But obviously we've had to do it because people were coming out with rumours that we'd bought a bus at Wolves and bringing all the players up, and whoever come up with that one, I don't know.
Well, that's actually a good point to end on. So we've still got a few weeks in 2014. So best wishes for your respective remainder of the competitions, and best of luck for Mitchelton in 2015.